this video, I intend to talk about getting clarity out of your ictus. This is especially important at the beginning of a piece because once momentum has been built up throughout the performance of a piece in a given tempo, it's a lot more obvious where the next beat is about to land, right? But there's no point of reference at the beginning of a piece except for that which the conductor gives. All right, so if I were to show you an ictus like this, there actually wasn't an ictus there, right? You wouldn't have known when to clap if you were supposed to clap on the downbeat. Same deal here. Right? So there are two elements at play. One of them is placement of the ictus, and the second one is clarity of the ictus. So first I'm going to talk about the placement. All right, we have this plane in front of us when we get our original stance with our elbows bent and our forearms parallel to the floor. We come forward. This is our plane. The plane is right here. All right, that's where the ictus should take place too. All right, so if I conduct and wait until I get back to this point, it's a little more clear. Right? So the first couple examples I did, I moved my plane, right? So that's going to cause confusion, especially on the preparatory beat. The second thing is the flick, right? So instead of just simply doing what I've been intentionally doing so far, which is moving my hands at an even rate of speed, right? Now I'm going to do something a little different. Watch this. A lot more obvious now, right? That's because I'm doing a flick on the prep beat, right? I fired off of that plane. I shot off that plane like there was a little mini explosion right there on the plane. One final piece that will help you have a clear ictus is the type of motion that you use. Instead of moving at an even rate the entire time, right? When we conduct, we actually move towards the beat at the last second a little faster, and we rebound off of the beat. So we watched some videos by Peter Gribanov, and Gribanov was talking about this. Now he is not an English speaker first and foremost, so he used the word inertia. And if you want to be technical about that word and its definition, that's not really what he meant. What he's really talking about is kinetic energy and potential energy, and that might be making it sound more complicated than it is. An easy way to think of it is if you threw an object up in the air. If I took my keys out of my pocket, threw them up in the air, and you watched them come towards the floor, and I asked you to clap when my keys hit the floor, we would be very successful at that. You can see the floor. That is the equivalent of our conducting plane, and you can watch them, but they don't follow the same speed the entire way. If I throw it up in the air, it's going faster right out of my hand. It slows down at its peak, almost seems to hang for 1 second, and the gravitational potential energy takes over and starts pulling it faster down to that plane again, right? We should conduct with that same kind of natural motion. It would look something like this. It's kind of subtle, but it's definitely in play. And so when you use that in your preparatory beat, that makes things much easier too. It helps people predict things. It's how our brains are wired. So for someone that's going to do a prep beat and they start you off and they do it without using that natural kinetic / potential energy type of movement, then it's a little bit awkward. Right? Make it natural. Let it swing. Let gravity do its thing. Boom.